I never loved nobody before.
All right, welcome. This is something that we're doing a little bit differently because we know that our videos have been a little on the longer side. I mean, compared to some.
Well, you know, everyone likes it, but we just want to.
I mean, we're at about 1 million views right now, so I don't know
yeah.
what anyone's complaining about. But yeah, we just want to make them a little bit more concise, make them a little bit better to do. Oh yeah, and we need to.
Time in this.
We're gonna set
We're
a
gonna
timer.
do better, so.
This is gonna be 15 minutes or less. So, but we got some exciting things to talk about. Let's start off with this Camelbak.
Yeah, we just got this new hydration pack in. Camelbak's doing one. We've primarily done Nathan in the past, and the Nathan one they're updating the line with some new color. But this is pretty cool in that it's got, this is kind of like the amphipod release.
Yep.
Which I've always liked. I know some people, I don't know. I think it's the most secure. The Nathan ones, if you're doing like mountain climbing, always, especially scrambling, you might kick it out. This one seems very secure. I like that it has kind of the gel pocket right into it.
That's sweet.
It's really nice. Decently sized. That's actually a pretty good pocket. I'd say that's
It probably stretches.
yeah, that's actually maybe. I might have to compare it to the Nathan.
See, and that's pretty stretchy. Like you could stuff that. Yeah, I think it's
4 gel pockets.
good option.
Then, yeah.
And then the nozzle on the top, you can control the flow, so you can figure out if you want more water or more liquid to be coming out.
And that's one of Camelbak's strengths is their bottles. So
they're sweet.
So pretty exciting stuff. I think Nathan's has kind of dominated the scene of hydration for a while. I think Camelbak, especially with that packet, could give it some good competition.
And I think they've got some good handhelds too.
Yeah.
Women's Mirage 3.
Yeah. I don't want to say 2, but years passed. Mirage 3. Now you've been running in some Mirage 3.
I have.
Right?
Yeah. This same pair, different color. I've been running in, and I've been actually surprised at how much I like it. I'm extremely neutral. Not a whole lot of overpronation going on with my body, but they've got the light posting here that I don't really notice. Maybe once it starts compressing, I'll notice it a little bit more. But looking pretty good, feels pretty good. Definitely lightweight, but still a kind of a bulkier training shoe by my standards for me. But kind of fits into that lightweight trainer racer that most people could wear for races.
Mirage has done well for us in the past, so it's exciting to see the update. And so far, the reviews have been really good. So if you've liked Mirage in the past, definitely check out Mirage 3. It's really cool. Now this next shoe, this one's the one we've been really excited for a while. We're talking Zero Drop Saucony. At first glance, it just looks like a new Kinvara update, like new color ups, but this is a completely new shoe, new beast, 1 ounce lighter than Kinvara, you know, super flexible through the toe. Like it is curvy, like it is flexible.
Oh wow!
But zero drop, and I kind of like that. It's, I don't know. I completely support what companies like Ultra is doing and what the Pure series is doing, but I think some companies are taking it one step too far, just one step too minimal. And I think we're going to talk about Merrell in a second. I think Merrell's kind of gone that direction.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool to see what looks like a traditional shoe, just zero drop. Now, yeah, I do believe you need to have good width, and I don't think, I think the Kinvara's been pretty accommodating.
Yeah.
But it's not just blatantly, come look at me, this is minimal. You probably wouldn't even recognize this as a zero drop shoe if I didn't tell you.
Yep.
So.
The sole on the side right here comes up a little bit higher, so it's deceptive as far as
the
the
heel
looks,
still sits in there.
It sits right in there. So, yeah. Anyways, as far as product that
we got them in yesterday, so we're still kind of getting reviews.
Acquainted.
Yeah.
Yep. So those are the new product that we currently have. Let's talk a little bit about a product.
But if you're excited about Kinvara, if you like Kinvara, come be some of the first people to check out the Virrata. We're pretty stoked. I was the first one to run in them.
The Virrata would actually be, if you have been wanting to do a zero drop,
Yeah.
but haven't really liked some of the zero drop options out there, you're not alone, because a lot of the zero drop regular shoe options like Ultra aren't for everybody. I think they are awesome shoes and I really like them. But if you really like the Kinvara but have been wanting to do zero drop, the Virrata is an awesome shoe to throw into the mix. I think.
Its stack height looks pretty high too.
Yep.
Like I said, it's not just in your face, minimal. It looks like, even if you're a host striker, it's just meant to kind of help aid you. So cool stuff, Virrata. Come take a look at it. We're stoked about it.
Let's talk about Merrell.
Merrell. So yeah, I said we were going to talk about it. We saw the new Merrell stuff recently, and it looks really, really good.
Yep.
I think look-wise, Merrell's just got it down.
Yep.
So we're going to be seeing updates to the road glove, the
Trail
pace
glove.
and trail glove, the bare access.
Bare access looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
They look a little bit more durable.
Yeah,
Look
and
a
that's
little bit
what I
better.
think is good. I think that kind of hurt Merrell's first round out. Even the bare access was just meant to be their normal trainer. It was just a little light, lighter than Kinvara, and you just kind of wonder, to a certain degree, how well it's going to hold up. But that also being said, the shoe I'm really stoked about is the Vapor. Like 2 ounces, but it looks pretty durable. This is the way it was made. It kind of reminds me of the High Res by New Balance is going to be coming out soon too.
It almost kind of reminds me too of like the Spyridon a little bit, or the Spiridon. Just kind of not as aggressive on the bottom, but still that same really tough rubber on the bottom, but not super aggressive.
Yeah.
So.
But it looks really cool, and the cool thing about the Vapor, I think it's like $40. I think the High Res is gonna be like $120.
Is it the Vapor only $40?
No, it's gonna be $40. Sorry, $40 less than the High Res is. I think it's $80, $79.99.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
High Res
not
is like
bad.
$120.
If it was $40, that'd be awesome.
I was like,
but that's
$40.
actually kind of leads to the next topic. There were a couple other brands. And if you've heard anything, let us know, because we're kind of on the fence with these brands. We're going to talk to them, maybe see if we can't check out some of their product. But Zem, Z-E-M, and Topo, short for Tony Post.
Tony Post.
Yeah, he was a designer at Vibram, and he was supposedly the guy who was very influential in starting, with all of Vibram's success. But he's starting his own shoe company, and then Zem, which you didn't get to see much of.
Yeah, tell us a little bit.
But we're
about
talking;
Zem.
those are like $50, $60, very minimal shoes. And they're not really being
those
specifically.
Were the ones that were in the box.
Yeah, like really cool POP idea, almost self-serve. Like their boxes have little hang tabs, and you could just display them.
It's like
on
like a shoe in a hanging box. Like you would see it, and it might look kind of like an insert, but it's a shoe in a box.
In there. And they're all zero drop, all super minimal, not very much cushion at all.
Yeah.
But they look really good. I like the price point, but you never know. I never heard of the company, and first impression was really good.
Yeah.
Whereas Topo, first impression was like so-so.
Yep.
I don't know. It kind of has the pure vibe. It is definitely kind of got that cloven look where it has that separated.
It reminded me
big
of
toe.
the mix between the 5 Fingers and the Pure Project.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'd never really heard of it. They did officially launch it at Outdoor Retailer. So I'm guessing we're going to be hearing stuff more about it in the future. But another zero drop. It looks like they had 3 different models that they were going to.
They had a really cool the biking gear that's on the outside
I know
of the
the
shoe
North Face have
it.
it. I can't remember what that's called.
I can't remember either, but it looks really
Solomon shoes have it. Anyways, kind of a quick lace system. Ski boots do it. So whatever.
7 minutes.
Cool.
We're going to talk about our question. One of the guys that won, or was one of the winners for Outdoor Retailer, had his proposed question that we didn't get to last week because we just chose one, was give us some form advice. And so I said, okay, Danny, you go first, I'll go second. What would you give as your number one piece of advice for someone who wants to run with better form? What do you think is the best?
I really think that the first emphasis would be to look at foot strike, to be honest.
Okay.
I know some people are like, well, it's not all about foot strike, and you look at these other things. I really think it's about foot strike is one of the things most people can really work on, And I think there are easier things you could work on, like your arms. But by just simply adding some barefooting in on your workout near the end, that doesn't mean you have to go completely barefoot. I really just mean in a supplemental manner, do some after the workout. I remember specifically, and it's not uncommon for people to do this, when I was running, when I was pacing Kara Goucher, their typical workout would go like this. They'd warm up for 3 miles, really, really slow. Like, I was running with Julia Shashan, who was a NCAA champion and NCAA record holder in the 800, Galen Rupp, Adam Goucher, Kara Goucher, and Amy Begley. And you would not believe these people were Olympians warming up with them. Super slow, just in their normal trainers. Then they would move into, then we'd hit the track. They'd move into their
Kind of
like
a
road
lightweight
racers.
trainer?
Yeah, lightweight trainer for the first half of their workout. Then they would move to the spikes, the second half. And then when they finished into their cool down, and then they would do plyometric exercise. And I think that's something a lot of people neglect too. Plyometrics can be very beneficial.
Easily neglected, kind of like strength.
Yeah.
And it is strength. It's strength for runners. Really.
Yeah, you're working all kinds of different ancillary muscles. We talk a lot about liking trail running, and you get some of those supplemental like ancillary strengthening of the muscles, you know, just because you're constantly on that unstable surface. But when you're doing plyometrics, you're specifically working, you know, your abductors, adductors.
You're targeting those ancillary muscles.
And doing those barefoot, I think, very beneficial. But that's where Kara would break out the freeze, and they would even do some of it barefoot.
Interesting.
You know, cooling down, just really nice, easy stuff. And I think that's where it's really going to be most beneficial, is when you kind of pick a time you're going to focus on it. You don't have to do it all the time, but really focus on foot strike. And I think that's the easiest way, is to do some minimal, very minimal, or barefooting.
Cool. We'll skip me today, and we'll have me answer that same question next week maybe. But let's move on to racing, just because we've got
there's a lot of cool stuff. Believe it or not,
Rupp,
January.
Galen Rupp and Mary Cain. I think we should probably start out by highlighting that.
Yeah,
That's
both Alberta Salazar runners, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
Because Alberta Salazar hunted down Cain
Do you know
and does
that
it from afar.
Salazar's gonna write like a book or something?
He did write a book.
Did he write a book?
But it was more about like his own running, and I think when he had that heart attack.
Okay.
It's like
kind of more
14
biographical than it is like training wise. Because he is doing, in my opinion, some of the best training in the world.
Look at the success.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think that is why, like, the fruits of his labor are the medals that a lot of his runners won. And I don't know, I'd be interested in a book by Alberto Salazar.
Yeah, specifically on training. And he's really pretty cutting edge. He likes to use technology, and he hired Steve Magnus, who has since left the program and started his own training group. But Steve Magnus pretty much was his like science coordinator. He came in and like
a lot with biomechanics.
Yeah, and then they even looked at things like, well, is there research out there to support icing? You know, and he just give it straight up, and they really analyze things. Are we just doing this because people do this, or is there hard evidence?
Research behind it?
Yeah. And
interesting. That's really cool.
So Salazar's really cool like that. But Rupp, American record, indoor mile, 350.92.
Was he American record, or was he?
Oh, sorry. Becomes the fifth fastest indoor mile
fastest
ever
in the world.
So he second fastest American
behind Bernard Lagat.
So yeah. So there we go.
The first fastest is Ichimel Garouche.
Yeah.
Second fastest is, I can't remember. Third fastest Nordine Morselli,
who was a former world record holder.
And then Bernard Lagat right after that, and then Galen Rupp. So I mean, the 4 guys that are beating him are guys that are like
milers. Rupp is not a miler.
True milers who have medaled in the Olympics in the mile. In the 1500.
So here we go. Actually, Eamon Coughlin was number 2. So we had Garouche, who's the master, then Eamon Coughlin, the master of the boards. He was the guy who won. Bernard Lagat recently broke his Wanamaker mile record. He was like an indoor specialist, one of the indoor kings. He won like 7, 8, 9 Wanamaker miles at the Milrose Games in a row. So really cool. Then Lagat is number 3 all time. Cool. And then Nordine Marcelli from Algeria and Rupp. Wow, so crazy stuff.
Yep.
And then Mary Cain, this is American junior record, 4:32.78.
And she beat the previous
by like 7
high school
seconds.
record or junior record
It was
by
high
about
school.
by 6 seconds. I think
Yeah,
it was.
so Debbie Held's 4:38.
And she did
And it was set in 1971. So that was like one of the longest things on the. Given Mary Cain had ran 4:31 last year, but I think, it's just showing this is early in the season, and Salazar knows how to peak his athletes, so that's pretty
Cool.
exciting.
Cool. And then there was a BYU girl, Kelsey Brown, who buys her shoes from Runner's
Yeah.
Corner. I think I'm almost positive that I've helped her a few times get her shoes, but she ran a 2:04.800.
Yeah, opening
Where
the season.
where did she?
It's got to be
UW?
Washington.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to run a fast time indoor, you can go there.
Yep.
But that's cool because you prepped at Mountain View, then
Except
went
that
to
Rupp and
Oklahoma.
Cain, I think they were racing in Boston.
Yeah, but they get into like professional
Okay.
meets,
Cool.
Armory, and some people have mixed feelings about the oversized track, and we could probably debate about that. But Kelsey Brown ran at Mountain View, went to Oklahoma, just recently transferred back to BYU. And if you're going to go to BYU, run the 800. They have tremendous 800
Awesome
success.
800
Given
runners.
they had a pretty solid meet, but Kelsey Brown, props to her. That was really cool to see, especially local girl run that fast, 5th in the nation, and I think like 4th all time for BYU.
Cool.
That's saying a lot because they've had like 3 of the last 5 indoor national champions in the A's.
Yep.
So
Duane Solomon, American record in the 600 meter.
Uh-huh.
Where was that at?
let's
either in
see,
Boston or
Scotland.
UW. Oh,
He went
Scotland.
overseas to do it.
Oh, interesting.
And Duane Solomon, he was our top finisher at the Olympics.
Okay.
He was like 4th place, and that was a crazy 800 in the Olympics. If you haven't seen that 800 for the Olympics, best race in my opinion. I don't know. I thought it was the most exciting. I guess you could argue the Olympics was great, and maybe we should talk about that sometime.
Yeah, we should maybe talk
But that was a cool race because the
An
world
Olympic
record was
special.
set by Rudisha,
Yep.
but he did really well. I think he was 4th,
Okay.
and he beat Nick Simmons, which I like. But good sign for Duane Solomon. Props to him. 1:15 for 600.
And last but not least, Olympic Oval high school meet.
Yeah, this week.
This weekend.
So we'll kind of review that next week, see what went down. Thank you. This is our shortest video.
All this music and it breaks my heart.